Hello, Facebook friends. I'm downtown. I'm right across from St. Louis City Hall. Mayor Tishaura Jones' office sent out a news release this morning saying that the body of a homeless woman had been discovered here right across from City Hall along Clark Street. Her body was found right over here on this heating grate. This is a grate that's used by a lot of the homeless here around the St. Louis area. A lot of the homeless come here basically to try to stay warm, especially when you look at these frigid temperatures, very dangerous temperatures. A lot of them are here. They lay right there. The heat comes out, and they basically use this at night to lay down to try to stay warm. I had talked to another homeless woman this week now on Valentine's Day who told me she also sleeps here many nights, and I had talked to her the day after she spent the night on one of the homeless grates, one of these heating grates here. So this basically apparently is where this body was found early this morning. Now I'm down here by the medical examiner's office. I did go in the medical examiner's office to ask them have they reached a conclusion as to the cause of death. They said they're still working on that. They have not finished performing their autopsy and everything they have to do. They say it won't be a while. You know, obviously many people are thinking that it could be weather related, but so far the medical examiner has not reached a conclusion yet, and that won't come for a little while. But the mayor's office did say that they have a lot of homeless beds that are open that the victim could have gone to, rather than being out here on this homeless grate. They say she could have gone to one of the available beds. But when you talk to people in the homeless community, they're saying there's not as many beds as the mayor's office is saying. They're saying there are many times, and I've talked to a number of homeless people that dialed 211 and no beds were available. They couldn't find any. Matter of fact, I've taken some people and put them in hotels because they could not find beds available, especially for women or families or others. There often were no beds available for some people, and so I've gotten situations like that where I've talking to either homeless advocates or the homeless themselves, especially women who were saying they've called 211 but were not able to find beds to stay in, to get in out of the cold. So it may not be as easy a situation as the administration believes that it is, because the homeless community is saying there's simply not enough shelter beds available for all the people who want to get in from the cold. Certainly the investigation to the death of this woman will continue. Much of it's obviously now in the hands of the medical examiner, which is right across the street from me right now. It's in their hands. They'll be doing an autopsy, and they'll be figuring out exactly what she died of. But certainly, like I said, her body was found apparently on that heating grate. So obviously, it is a very tragic and a very difficult situation. Someone was sleeping outside here, and the temperatures were probably down in the single digits. So obviously, a lot will be a part of this investigation as they try to figure out exactly what happened. Meanwhile, what the Tishaura Jones, the mayor's office, has done is something that I have been asking them to do for months. That's put out a homeless bus, a warm-up bus for the homeless to help them get inside. Many of them just walking around all day out in the cold. Some say I talked to one woman who said she went to the library to get warm, but when she closed her eyes to go to sleep, they told her to get out. And so she was back out in the cold. So many of the homeless will spend the day walking around out in the cold. So I've been calling on Mayor Tishaura Jones to put out the homeless bus, put out the warm-up bus. I'm sorry, I keep saying homeless bus. Warm-up bus for the homeless this administration finally did that after months of me calling on them to do that. So they're kind of pressured into doing it after calling the homeless buses a Band-Aid. That's the phrase used by Mayor Tishaura Jones' chief of staff, Jared Boyd. I interviewed him during a protest on Valentine's Day. He came out of the office and talked to the homeless who were there. And one of his statements about the bus, about the warm-up bus, was that it was just a Band-Aid. And, of course, that offended a number of the homeless people who were there. I know it's more than a Band-Aid because I've been around for a long time. I was around during when Mayor Tishaura first used the buses. That's how I know about it, and that's how I know how effective they are. And no one ever called them a Band-Aid. This was the first time somebody did, and that was Mayor Tishaura Jones, chief of staff, who referred to it as a Band-Aid and a symbol. Well, the former bus, of course, is more than a symbol. But anyway, the good news is the administration is putting finally putting the bus out there. It was out for the first time last night. But the downside, the bad side, the bus is only going to be out for 2 hours a day, from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock. When her predecessor, Mayor Tishaura, was here and used the buses, they were out sometime for 4 hours until everybody until a place in a shelter was found for everybody. The object is for people to wait on the bus. Open shelter beds will be found, and those people will be driven to the shelter beds. But here, the bus is only out for 2 hours, from 5 to 7 o'clock. Not enough when you consider what these temperatures are. When Mayor Tishaura operated the bus and had them out in when she was mayor, around 2017 or so, or sometime after that, sometimes the buses would be put out on the street at 14th and Chestnut at noon. But why? Well, we're having single-digit temperatures at noon. We have, with wind chill, below zero at noon. So the buses are needed a lot earlier than what this administration is putting them out there. They need to be out on the street longer, especially when we've got temperatures that are going to get down to -1 degrees and like that. And it's going to be like that during the day, where it's going to be in the single digits and below zero weather during the day. Why would you wait until 5 o'clock to put out the bus when it's freezing, below freezing, a lot earlier in the day? You need that bus out early if you're going to do it. So the bus needs to be out on days like this. The bus should have been out there at noon. You should not wait until 5 o'clock to put out. You should not wait until 5 o'clock to put out a bus in freezing, frigid, dangerous weather where people are dying. You should have that bus out soon. So my belief, and I don't think it's unreasonable, if you're going to have a warming bus out, it needs to be out there, and you got single-digit temperatures during the day. That bus needs to be out there by noon, so that the homeless have some place to go, that they can be able to get off the street, be able to get a break, because some don't know where to go. Some don't have a place to go. So that bus needs to be out there at noon, when we're having these days where, with the wind chill factor, the temperature may be below zero. Certainly they're in single digits, and to wait until 5 o'clock in the evening is just inexcusable. To have the bus out there for only 2 hours an evening, that is just ridiculous. When you look at, and the administration has admitted that, okay, we're going to have some awful weather this week. So why wait until 5 o'clock to put a bus out if the weather's awful all day? If you're going to have minus temperatures, below zero temperatures all day, why wouldn't you have the bus out at least by noon? You can justify that, putting it out earlier so that the homeless have some place to go. Especially when there is a death like there is now here in St. Louis, a woman who died. Her body was found on the heating grate. So especially when you've got a death it seems like you would speed up measures. Seems like you would want to do more. And so inasmuch as we finally got the mayor to put out the warming bus, even though they think the bus is just a Band-Aid, which I disagree. Certainly, it's not a Band-Aid to the homeless. It's not a Band-Aid to the homeless advocate organization. But since the administration believes the bus is a Band-Aid and had to be pressured into putting that bus out there by the homeless community who pressured them, they had to get their own bus out there. Andre Cole and his organization, Audrey and her organization, St. Louis Winter Outreach, these were the people that, because the city did not have their bus out there, they went and bought a bus, manned it with volunteers, and they were out there every night. Some nights the bus broke down. The administration cited the breakdown of their buses as the reason they decided to put the city's bus out there. But they don't. But unlike Mayor Lyda Krewson, and I keep going back there because Mayor Lyda Krewson was all in with this warm-up bus. She was all in making it work, all in and making it as effective as possible. Tishaura Jones administration, they are taking just baby steps. It seems like they're just doing the least possible with this warming bus. They're not doing everything. For example, Mayor Krewson had city workers there from Human Services, and they would also be involved in calling the shelters to find beds, to find shelter beds for people, and help provide transportation along with the volunteers to provide transportation to these shelters. They have people. The bus will stay there sometimes 4 hours to make sure that everybody who needed a bed could find one. And so, but this, like I said, so 2 hours is not enough. So I've seen it. I've been out here when the bus was out here like 4 hours at night. When they brought the bus in at night, and it was here for 4 hours, and they made sure that everybody could find every shelter bed was filled up. So they kept it out here a long time, more than 2 hours certainly. And also when we had temperatures that were single-digit temperatures, what they would do is bring the bus out at noon, right, during the day, so that the homeless could get on that bus at noon, and the bus would stay there all afternoon and all evening to give as many people as possible a chance to get on that bus. My view, Mayor Tishaura Jones' administration was pressured into putting this, but they didn't want to put it out in the first place. They were pressured into putting the bus out by my reports and by what the homeless community was doing, getting their own bus, putting it out there. And every person I was interviewing was saying that bus was needed. Some political leaders I interviewed were saying that bus was needed. Tishaura Jones' administration still refused to put that bus out there. Wasn't until after we interviewed Jared Boyd, her chief of staff, who said the bus was only a Band-Aid. Maybe they got so much backlash from that interview that I did with Jared Boyd during that protest. The homeless, led by Larry Rice, New Life Evangelistic Center, they had a protest at City Hall. They were outside the mayor's office. Jared Boyd, the chief of staff, came out to talk, and the homeless asked him questions, and I got to ask him questions also. And he, at that time, during that time, called the warming bus a Band-Aid. That was his term. Clearly, he doesn't have an understanding of how this warm-up bus works and why it is so important, and why the homeless wanted it here so badly, and why they understood how important it was. But that's something apparently this administration didn't understand. They really were pressured into doing it. Without the pressure, they probably would not have done it. They didn't do it last year because there wasn't the pressure. I was in television last year, so I wasn't out here on the street like I am now. You know, I'm retired from Fox 2 after 45 years, and so I'm retired, but I'm able to be out on the street every day right now doing what I do. And so I wasn't going to let it escape another year, them getting away another year without putting the warming bus out. So I've been making this my cause this winter. Back in December, Two people, I found out from the medical examiner, 2 people have died from hypothermia. They have died from the cold weather in St. Louis thus far. That's confirmed deaths from the cold here in St. Louis. That's information I got from the medical examiner's office. And so we have another person who has died last, her body was found this morning. The medical examiner she was found on the heating grate that the homeless stay on to sleep on to try to stay warm. There was a homeless woman, her body found on the heating grate this morning. The medical examiner not finished an autopsy. That's going to take a while, but still a lot of concern. This administration still not doing nearly enough, my Facebook friends. It is good that they're taking the first step to get the warming bus out on the street, but it is not being used enough. How they're using it is inadequate. They don't have the city workers on to help the volunteers. The bus is only out there for 2 hours. That is not enough time. It needs to be out there a lot longer. And when we have these days, and we're going to have them all week, where we have single-digit temperatures during the day, why wouldn't you have the warm-up bus out there during the day so the homeless can come? Why would you just wait until the evening to put the bus out there if it's needed to give the homeless a place to go? So why would you not have that bus out there as Mayor Tishaura did? Have it out there at noon. Don't wait until 5 o'clock, Mayor Jones. Don't wait until the evening. Have it out there at noon. Keep it out there all day. And I'll keep it out there longer at night too, not just 2 hours. That is just simply not enough. So I am gratified that the mayor finally, under pressure, put out that warming bus that was absolutely needed, but a lot more needs to be done. If you're going to put out the bus, use it right, use it effectively. Perhaps they need to go back and look exactly at what Mayor Tishaura did and just follow her blueprint. She did it right. This is a dangerous time. This is a time where people can die. We already had a death of a homeless woman whose body was found this morning. It was found on the heating grate. That's, if I can show you guys, it's found on a heating grate. You see where the smoke is coming up. It was found on that heating grate that's right on the sidewalk there. That heating grate, guess what? Right across from St. Louis City Hall is where that body was found. We are in a difficult time, Facebook friends. We're at a time where this weather can take lives and cost lives. This administration needs to be doing more. They need to be more aggressive in dealing with the dangerous time we're in. They're not doing that. It seems like, I don't want to say they're doing as little as possible, but they're not doing as much as they could be doing. Let's start again with this bus that I've been pleading with them for about 2 months to put out. They finally put it out after the mayor's chief of staff came out and called it a Band-Aid and probably got a lot of backlash for calling it that, because it's more than a Band-Aid. It can be a lifesaver. We need this administration to be more aggressive in dealing with this cold weather emergency. They need to do more. Start with this, utilizing this warmer bus better. Like I said, it's good that they've got the bus out here. That's a good thing, but they are not using it effectively. It is not being used the way it should be used. It's not out here enough. It needs to be out here during the day. People are dying. They need to get this bus out here more. They need to make more assets available to the homeless to use. We're in a dangerous time, Facebook friends. We hoping, of course, that the administration, certainly they know how dangerous it is, but we need to see more action take place from this administration. Good that they've got the bus out here, but it's not being used as much as it should be. They need to do more. I'm going to stay on top of this. My Facebook friends.